Hello and welcome to the Ninqueso Exploring Japan channel, where I'm on a journey to find out everything I can about Japan, the people, the culture, and today about some scams that I need to be wary of, because as this video goes live in just over 5 weeks, I'll actually sort of be there. So I need to make sure I know these things and prepare myself. So we've got a video here listing some of the scams we need to watch out for. So let us get comfy and find out just what we need to keep our eyes open for in Japan.
These are scams in Japan to watch out for.
I like the way he gets to the point nice and quick.
So Japan is a relatively safe country, but to be fair, it's not free from its own deceptive scams. So I wanted to make this video and share some of the more popular ones, especially for those of you living in Japan. Just in case you ever come across it yourself, so you can avoid it before it's too late.
Yes, so we can be pre-prepared, so we know what to expect. To be fair, I've no really idea what to expect here. The only one I've really heard about is being lured into bars and buying drinks for the ladies and then finding you got a massive great big bill at the end that's unbelievably expensive, but that's fine. I don't drink and they can buy their own drinks.
Also, I'm not too familiar with scams from other countries, so do let me know which ones in Japan are similar and different from your country. But like always, before I start, if you want to help support the channel, then definitely check out the Shibuya merch. And if you guys want to see what I'm doing on the daily, check out my Instagram account. And if you have any questions about Japan or your Japan travels, check out my Discord community. Let's start with one of the most popular scams in Japan.
Popular.
Number 1, the Ore Ore scam, aka It's Me scam. In this one, scammers usually call by phone and target an older victim and pretend to be a relative, usually their son, daughter, or grandchild.
I'm pretty sure I'll be safe from this one.
To ask for money, creating an emergency situation where money is needed right away. This scam works especially well in Japan. 1, because elderly are generally trusting. 2, Japan is still very much a cash-based society, so it's hard to trace. 3, families don't talk much, especially as you get older, so it's hard for the victim to recognize if it's in fact their family member trying to contact them.
That is just absolutely awful, isn't it? People that do scamming, you suck. You suck big time.
4, family members usually don't ask for money, so getting a call such as this means it's really important and urgent. For example, this last month alone, a man in his 80s from Numazu, Shizuoka, gave over $15,000 to a scammer claiming to be his son. The scammer told the victim that he made a mistake on important company documents and needed money that day to fix the situation. The victim agreed to meet the son's boss at the Numazu city office, where he gave the scammer more than $15,000. These scams do vary, but work-related excuses are often used in saving face, and protecting one's company is an important part of Japanese culture. Damn, that's one reason to stay close to your family. Number 2, the loan deposit scam. For this one, scammers send a letter to would-be victims offering an attractive financial loan, and then get the applicants to transfer money to the scammer's account.
Again, I think as a tourist, I'll be safe from this one too. I'm not sure these scams are actually ones directed at people visiting, but we'll stick with it because, it's good to know these things.
Telling the victim that they need to send a deposit in order to start the loan. The scammers will entice applicants by advertising things like incredibly low campaign interest rates matched with high loan amounts, or it's operated by known government officials, and also advertise simple screening and no guarantors needed. For example, one victim of the scam received a highly attractive loan offer via fax and decided to apply. He soon received a call from a loan officer and was told he qualified for up to about $50,000, but needed to send a 10% deposit first. So he borrowed money from his friends and then sent over the $5,000.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's not typically how loans work, that you need the deposit there. Normally they want collateral, don't they? So they can get the whole of the money back.
Deposit. Soon afterwards, he was requested to send another $5,000 to earn trust. The man didn't have the additional funds, so he asked for a refund of his initial deposit, but never got the money back. Damn, all I could think about is that he's still using a fax. Let's try to find a scam that's a little bit more digital. Number 3, the social media cash giveaway scam.
Yeah, I've had people they hack accounts, then send you a message, and it's just hey, I've seen your name in this list, and he's just Oh, shut up.
For recent years, Japan has seen an increase in social media scams, specifically posts pretending to be cash giveaway offers and scamming victims out of electronic money. In 2019, a famous Japanese entrepreneur and ex-CEO of Zozo, a popular Japanese online shopping site, offered on Twitter about $10,000 each to 100 people. Since then, similar but fake cash giveaway posts have increased in Japan, designed to steal.
The thing is, if that is genuine, they're not going to want any money or anything from you. And obviously, you just don't give bank details to random people that you don't know, because that's just silly.
People's personal info, bank accounts, credit cards, etc. For example, a woman in her 30s from Ishikawa Prefecture was taken for about $50 last year via a fake Twitter account giveaway pretending to be another famous Japanese entrepreneur. So be careful of your personal data, even in Japan. Number 4, the romance scam. This scam is also found online, but as the title suggests, plays on the heartstrings of the lonely and compassionate.
I ain't lonely and I ain't compassionate either.
Rise in Japan, victims will be approached on social media by a scammer feigning to have a romantic interest in order to trick them out of money. For example, a group of 4 men were alleged to have approached a number of women online in the Fukuoka prefecture. They were pretending to be foreign military men and needing money. The men messaged the women asking for financial support for things like plane tickets to meet them or money to leave the military. One woman in her 60s was taken for about $60,000 on this scam. I guess finding love online also hurts in Japan. 5. The tax refund scam. In this fun one, the scammers call and gain the trust of the victim by pretending to be a government official from the city ward office.
Again, I feel this isn't going to apply to me.
Office or social insurance agency using the victim's inhabitant tax, estate tax, pension premium, or medical fees as the refund bait. Specifically, the scammers will say something like, "I'm Suzuki from the Shibuya City Ward Office, and you have a $300 refund for medical fees from 2020. We sent you a letter for guidance, but it
Yeah, I think I'd be safe from that, because I'd be like, hang on, I didn't pay any medical expenses in 2020. What are you on about?
Expired, so I contacted you directly, and we can assist you over the phone if you do it today." After which, the victim is usually instructed to go to the ATM and call the scammers back. Once the scammer receives a call, it's go time. They proceed to guide the victim in transferring funds to the scammer's account. This one is popular in Japan because it's not unheard of for government officials to contact residents and notify them if they forgot to submit a document or maybe missed a payment. So yeah, I could see how this one could happen. But once someone asks you to go to the ATM or go to your online banking,
yeah, it's just like, that's just not how these things, well, I don't know, because I don't mean to Japan or anything, but that's just not how these things work. If they should never, you should like ask for details of your bank and stuff just over the phone, calling you out the blue. It's just that's alarm bells straight away.
Account, that's when the alarm bells should start going off. Number 6, the COVID scam. In light of the recent worldwide pandemic, a new crop of scams have surfaced in Japan, and this is one of them. Since many people in Japan were forced to quarantine, shut down businesses, etc., the Japanese government offered a business cash handout to companies and sole proprietors. About $20,000 for companies and about $10,000 for sole proprietors. And
yeah, something similar in the UK sort of kind of happened as well, to try and like help companies through that year that I don't like to talk about.
The scammers saw free money for the taking. Obviously, each business owner was eligible for only one business cash handout, but the scammers found a way around by convincing and instructing college students on how to fraud the government by applying to the program as a business owner.
Well, I don't want to say like they deserved it, but if you're trying to fraud the government, you kind of like deserve it.
Although both equally guilty for the crime, the college students would take about 70 to 80% of the cut, and the original scammer would take the rest. Unfortunately for them, many of the students were caught, so be careful of someone trying to involve you in a scam. Wow, that's going to be a fun conversation to have with the parents.
Yeah, it's just like, just don't be naughty.
Number 7, bar scams. So this final
is this the one that I sort of have heard about?
One is for the tourists and visitors of Japan. Probably common in other parts of the world, but still worth mentioning here just in case. Relatively speaking, there's not a lot of outright devious scams geared towards travelers, but this one will catch even some of the seasoned travelers.
Oh, won't catch me now because I know. And I'm also traveling on a budget, like a big budget. So like not big as in I've got loads of money to spend, as in I need to budget a lot. I'm living off on a gilly. That's what I'm doing.
especially if they come to Japan with their guard down. The basic gist is scammers will take unsuspecting travelers to a bar, and when the traveler tries to leave, they'll be charged with an expensive bill. So this scam comes in many forms, from the blatant to the unsuspecting. For example, you'll have the foreigner standing at the corner of the street in a popular drinking district like Roppongi or Shinjuku, approaching travelers, urging them to come to their bar with a special discount, to later find out that there were hidden fees and charges. Other times, it can be a little bit more subtle, like a cute girl on the street where travelers approach them.
Yeah, that's what I've heard about before.
Will start a conversation and she'll end up bringing them to a bar for drinks. And
I'm good, you know, I'm not going to be trying to chat women up while I'm in Japan because, you know, I'm happily in a relationship.
which she'll probably already have a special deal with the bar, and worse, there's a special overpriced menu for the traveler. Finally, it could be a person you newly met on a dating app like Tinder, or maybe a language learning app who takes you to an expensive bar. Either way, you may be left with paying a huge bill. So there you go, some of the most popular scams in Japan. Again, let me know how it compares to your country.
Okay.
If you like this video,
there you go. Obviously, it's like most of those weren't actually geared towards tourists, apart from that last one, which is the one I have heard about, so that is probably good. But I feel fairly confident now that I will be able to detect a scam when I am in Japan in just over 5 weeks' time. It's actually quite scary. But anyway, that was a video by, I believe, Paolo in Japan. No, Paolo from Tokyo. I was close. If you did like their video, I will leave a link down in the description, and you can head on over there and give it a like. But if you did like my video, then please could you do the same and hit that like button? And while you're down there, let me know of any other scams that you have heard about, which are primarily to tourists, or any other videos or anything that you think would be very useful for me to sort of watch before I go. And if you want to see more of my journey as I try to discover everything I can about Japan, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But until next time, just be nice to people. Bye.